can you tell us a bit of your background, like how you actually get into gaming, and what's the first games that you actually played?
Yeah, so the first games I played is CS. I got into gaming from having a gap year for not getting, for not, for studying in dentistry. I got to dentistry, but then I decided to take a gap year because of financial problems. So I had like a full year to like do whatever I want. So I played games, and it was like the start of where I put in time and effort into it, and then I was invited to like tier 2, tier 3 teams, and just got my experience there. And that's how I thought about becoming like a pro.
I
But that
see.
was just the beginning. Yeah.
The 10, but that worked out. Serve up close, and he's on more, but he can't get out. He's stuck. The ult is keeping him in position. Xiao is going to make it very hard for him to hear anything, to expect those cues, but he's running on up. Serve finding a new lease of life here as he's just dominating the server. This operator has made all the difference. That more! Look at this guy go!
And so 2 years ago, why do you switch to Valorant? I mean, I guess CS:GO was dying in the region, but why do you fall in love with this game? I guess.
It started because like when I played CS, there was like a downtime where I kind of stopped. I quit, and then I went to play Dota 2 instead. And I'm like that kind of a competitive person where I really want to get good. So I grind really hard in Dota. And like I like how the games are played with having abilities.
Okay.
But I also like FPS games. So when Valorant came out, I tried it on the first day, and then having both things I like combined, having abilities and the FPS, it made me think right at that point that I think I would move instantly. That the game is just for me.
Okay. And so how did you guys actually, the five, or I guess the four of you, form the first team, like as extend previously? How did you guys actually meet and form the core of Xerxia right now?
It was it was from Who One Tap. Like he was the guy who started recruiting all of us. Like there was a team like X10. He gave Who One Tap like the leadership to bring in all the players he wants, and it happened to be us.
Okay.
So, and then we thought it was like a good opportunity to start competing, and then like go full time. Everybody just finished college except for Sushi Boys. So, but then he was in the part where it wasn't that important. Like it was his first year, so he dropped off.
Okay.
And then everybody just had the same goal at that time, just to like participate in the next international event, which was Iceland or
Okay. And you guys are obviously you guys only missed one LAN event since the Valorant Esports started, and you guys changed your duelists like a couple times. Why do you think you guys are able to perform still at the top? Because you have
I think
Surf right
because
now.
like the game is played as a team. Like people think of having like the duelists as like the superstar team, shining, carrying the team, but actually, like from my perspective, like the core of the team makes the duelists be able to frag that much. Like the utilities we send, how we do the rotations, how we cause confusion in the game, so that when we push a site, it's so much easier for a duelist to go in and like clear very little angles and just win aim duels because of the utility we send.
Not even for default, so the retakers will have to fight so many angles and just try to find everybody. they have any post-plant ultimates for X10? They do not, so that's a step in the right direction for X10 here, but still the fights will be hard, they will be long, and they will be brutal because Pooh one tap is here, holding strong. Zesby's waiting, he picks up the Phantom, and now they have to pinch in, not a lot of time left, and is gonna go in and just take him one by one, but Fall has to hook in big. Pooh one tap, clock is ticking, 4 bullets in a dream, but Pooh one tap is on the corner, and that is going to be GG.
Okay, so I guess now we'll switch a little bit more towards the current events and the champions. And since, as you guys know, Peprex this year has been dominating the Apex scene, and you guys always lose in the final against them. Like, what makes them actually not that better? And you guys, like, what makes you guys uncomfortable facing them? Because I watch the matches and like they are the one that actually kind of like quote unquote soft you guys in a way.
Yep. So I'm not gonna talk about the 2 finals we had because it was definitely not in the condition we wanted to be in, because we had to play like a series before finals. But then the game that actually made me think that they were a better team was when it was during Iceland, where it was the quarterfinals, I believe, where we played them and they 2-0'd us on Bind and Haven. The reason I think they are better in a way is because their firepower is very high.
Okay.
As you can see, like all of them can frag, can clutch, and the utility usage when they push through sight and the space creator in that team is just so hard for us to deal with. Like,
okay.
Usually if we play against like a really good duelist, usually they'll be the only guys who is fragging on the other team, right? But then because like these guys have a really good duelist where the space created causes everyone to be able to frag.
Okay.
It's really difficult for us to actually hold them back. And then how they play is different from a lot of the teams in the region. For example, when we played them on Bind, they have like the Euro comp. We're like the first one to play against that comp, and we're very uncomfortable with playing against the Euro because we've never scrimmed it on practice. So it was like we had no chance. So basically, like their preparations is really good, and then their trading and firepower is just higher than us. So that's why it's probably hard for us to like beat them.
I mean, that at Masters 1, nobody actually expected the Euro as well, right? Nobody saw it before. And I think the interesting thing, I guess this year, like the Thailand teams are not performing as expected from the other, the other region. What do you think is happening, and like why do you think like MITH, Myth, they're not really doing as well as last year, like Full Sense and everything?
I think it's probably because of the meta change. And then like for us, we got lucky that we attended plenty of international events. Like we are very comfortable in moving comps that our enemies will not be used to. For example, we will definitely change a comp right after this tournament.
Okay.
But then for like other Thai teams, it's more like they will follow you. Like to be honest, they will follow whatever comp is used in that international event, and they're gonna use it in the next event. While we will change from that event to the next event. Like so, like to me, it's just like we're one step ahead because we're creative about the comp and we're willing to risk, while they are playing it safe, making sure that they have like the best comp for this map. But sometimes like you just change a couple of agents and your gameplay will definitely confuse the other team.
Okay, so basically try to be the creator of the meta and stuff, trying to follow the meta.
Yeah.
And do you after being in so many events, from maybe Masters, from Champions, Masters 1, Masters 2, and then Champions again, like how do you see the teams improving? Are they improving like much faster than you guys expected, or are they, as expected but maybe just unlucky, matches that you guys didn't perform as well? Or?
They improved much faster than I expected. That is probably from the Japanese scene.
Okay.
Yeah, that the teams there improved drastically. Like, it was amazing how they were so good in such a very short time. So that's probably the thing that amazes me the most. But then the rest, I think they're like, yeah, up to pace, like normal.
And so for Xerxia itself, like you guys are known to play a little bit slower pace. Like, whose playstyle actually inspired you guys, or like actually this is literally just who you are, or like you guys at the first time, I follow Europe.
I think it's because we have played so many different styles. Like, if we go back to when we were in our previous team, in the first international event, we were the fastest team to plant the bomb. Like, on paper, like,
okay.
We were the fastest team. Like, it only took like 30 seconds. We'll definitely be on site and we'll be planting the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And when, like, as I said, every international event we'll try to change. And then from that first international event, we didn't perform so well. So the next one we started changing our style a bit, like more raw aim, like trading, because we were trying to play more aggressive. And then when we played aggressive, when we came back and then we when it was 2022, like, you can see that the whole scene in Thai, they're starting to play aggressive like us. Like, they're starting to take fights. They're just copying our style. So we just had to move away from that, and we kept on moving away, like just trying to change it up every time. So, like, sometimes it's going to be really slow, sometimes it's going to be really fast. So it depends on like how we're feeling from scrims, like the result of scrims, how the strats are made, something like that.
I've just been yeah, that ain't great. Surf was kind of going in here to be the cannon fodder. Zipan up close. That's a good swing. He's got support now, but Sushi Boys, this guy is unbelievable. You know, on the last map, his short holds on Ascent were fantastic, but went into this one here as well. Very important triple to keep them healthy in this round.
He knows there's someone around. This smoke, oh, it's a bit whippy. Eventually, we'll get the kill, but they're scary.
So, I mean, speaking of like Group A, I guess, Peprex and EDG, I mean, everyone's raving about EDG, right? I mean, I saw their game in LCQ, like their aim is just bonkers. Really, like, I just can't imagine how good they are. But are they really the team to be scared of in this tournament? What do you think?
Yes. To be honest, from scrim results, I would say they will probably win it.
Okay.
They will. Like, if they don't choke so bad or someone loses a hand, then I think they will probably win it. Like, from the results, I have never scrimmed against anyone this strong.
Okay. From your experience with EDG, is it because they play more of like the contact game, which is basically just drag picking, or basically the aim is much better, or is it because of the utility skills is better?
The utility is not that bad, but they're not good at using it. But their trading is very good. Their raw aim is exceptionally good.
Yeah.
And they will collapse at you. Like, wherever they spot you, you're gonna die there. Like, they will just collapse you right there. Even though you're on defense or attack. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so their map control is pretty good.
So from the games we will see, I will predict that every round will end in 20 seconds.
Absolutely feeling it now. Tailwind forward. Oh, and the blind for the Prowler. Dari Ali gets cut down aside. Slightly able to find one. And while it looked like Jojo maybe was going to be able to get some extra work finish here, but no. I mean, blink and you miss it. EDG storming through is, I mean, Kong is just feeling it.
The element of I'm letting the world know who I am with this kind of international debut of EDG Valorant. I mean, obviously, again, this is an eco, but you saw the skill usage, you saw the timings, right? Life, not a frame.
Okay, so I guess since we're from Indonesia, I want to talk a bit more about Boom Esports. This is the very first international event for 2 years. In 2 years, basically, what do you think about them? I mean, you saw them play. I guess how different are they? Since the roster change, that you think they can do well, or what do you think about it?
I think after this roster change, I think it's really gonna help them because definitely the firepower has came up because Famous is really fragging hard for Boom, and I think the style they play will definitely catch a lot of teams off guard. But I think they're playing Optic, right? So the opinion is I think they will definitely catch all these teams off guard for sure because they caught us off guard many times from dry peeking, but together as a team. Like they will definitely catch a lot of these teams off guard.
I mean, maybe a little bit of a bit of words for them, for them to perform well. Do you have? Can you give me some words for them?
So, I really want all the Asian teams and APAC teams to perform well, and I hope it's gonna be a really good first international event for Boom because it's a very big one. It's the biggest one of the year, and I hope they do really well. And I hope they play their own style. They don't change anything before the tournament. Hope that they don't get swayed by the scrim results because it doesn't really matter because scrim is scrim, and I just hope they show how the Indonesians actually play.
Who do you think is the 3 best players in the world right now?
I'll give it to Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it to Jason and Jing.
Okay. Wow.
And Kang.
Kang? Oh shit. Okay. No tens. No tens. No yay here.
Because of the performance.
Performance so far. Okay.
Yeah, so far. But Ye is definitely one of the top. But I really want to give Kang his credit because he actually deserves it. I really want to see him on stage. That's why I picked him. It was gonna be Ye or
Kang?
who was it? No,
Jing?
it was gonna be Ye or someone else from FPS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then I really want to give it to Kang. So after this tournament goes on, so my interview will actually be like, whoa.
Okay, that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's say you are the manager of the team. Who is your 5 players that you will choose around the world? Doesn't have to be, your own. I mean, excluding your own team then. Okay, so 5 players all around the world. Who's your 5 for you to manage?
Okay, so I'll take Jason.
Okay.
Kang. Take Jason and Kang. I don't know what language they're gonna speak, but then who cares? And then probably Marv.
Okay. You need your
Stacey.
Stacey. Okay.
Yeah, Stacey.
Okay, so you guys, you for 2 years, you always been to Europe. You met so many nice people. Who's actually the nicest player, or the one that you connect the most when you meet
I'll
them?
probably give 2 names. It's Redgar, and even though we met only once, Redgar is really nice, but Boaster has always been nice.
Boaster. And maybe right now, what do you think about the meta coming in maybe towards champions? Like the nerf on Chamber, do you think it will actually change the pick rate for Chamber right now? Do you think?
I still think it's not gonna change as much. Really, because the meta has been different after having Chamber in the pool because there's no there's no agent that could do something like him, right?
Okay.
Because there's no one who can actually teleport from one place to another instantly.
Yeah.
Apart from Jet's dash, which has to be activated before dashing. So now it creates like a diverse meta where Chamber can be played with Raze. That's why Peprex is really strong, because Jing is really good on Raze. And now there's another agent where you don't need to play 2 duelists to actually have Raze on the team.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the best lineup for Pearl?
I'd say it's similar agents to Split. Like,
Okay.
whatever you play on Split, I think you could definitely play on Pearl. Like, I think the 2 maps are very similar in a way. The corners are really tight. Yeah, so I'd say probably you put in Raze there, a Fade there, and whichever kind of Sentinels you want, depending on how you play. Like, this map is probably one of the maps where you could play all 3. Like, it wouldn't look like you're going out of meta if you chose the Cypher, the Killjoy, or the Chamber. Yeah. You could play Astra, Viper, or Omen. I think, like, doesn't matter, but not Brim.
Not Brim? Okay. Because it's quite a long, the distance, right? I think.
Yeah.
The travel. Okay. And who's the flasher then? Like, is it going to be KO still, or is it going to be...
I think it could be Breach.
Breach?
It could be Breach. Yeah, definitely could be Breach. Could be KO. KO is not bad. Yeah. Maybe the Sky as well. Yeah, just for information. If you don't have Fade, then probably the
Sky. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, and then just a little bit about, you guys say you guys scrim every day, and then I think like FNS did say about this about Burnout in Valorant right now, because like you guys have little time to prepare from Masters 1, Masters 2, and now only maybe couple weeks from people who won the LCQ to champions. How do you guys still stay fresh or innovative, even though this year is pretty packed?
I think we are, but then because of the events we had, like there's so many events we have to attend and so many things to do. Like, it really shorten our time to actually scrim. So, but I think we still are all like innovative. We're still in the game. We have that fire to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
The decision to have the format, the new format for 2023. What do you think about having? People always scared about a tier 2 disappearing.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's really nice. Like, it's a way to keep the domestic league running and keep all the teams to participate in events. So I think it creates a lot of opportunities for Southeast Asian teams in particular, because like definitely the NA tier 2, the EU tier 2, they're not in much of a trouble because of how big the esports scene it is there. Like, you'll probably get paid enough to actually play as a professional player, but then in Asia it's kind of different because we're not at that level yet. But then having this domestic league and then how they're running next year coming out, I think it's really good for the scene.
Okay, so do you think I think APAC is so far the only region that doesn't actually releases rosters. I think mostly it happens in NA and EU. Do you think like because it's people see Valorant as trust in the Valorant esports right now? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Because like I said, like the reason why NA teams and EU teams are releasing roster is probably because they are paying them quite a large sum of salary, right?
Yes,
but then compared to C, it's like not that big of a deal. Like, you can just get your fans in like a smaller group, but then I'm pretty sure they are gonna come back with a roster in NA and EU. Like,
definitely,
the people who release, because after seeing this, then it doesn't make any sense to keep them when you don't know what's the plan, right? So that's how it all happened. So I think it's gonna come back.
Yeah, well, I'll see you, I guess, in in the matches online.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.